We're joined now by South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, thank you for joining us again. Very important day. I'd like to start with the vaccine mandates that Joe Biden, his six-part plan that he unleashed on the American public yesterday. I just went into how it's stealing our freedoms and our liberties to choose what goes into our body. Your thoughts as a senior senator from South Carolina, great state of South Carolina.
Thank you very much. One, thank you for having me. I think it's political theater. If you're really serious about fighting COVID, wouldn't you shut down the border? Wouldn't you have a better screening system? We got thousands of refugees from Afghanistan. Half of them haven't been vetted, I don't think. Look what's happened at the border. The post office was exempt early on from this federal mandate. He attacked two Republican governors. They're trying to change the subject away from the debacle in Afghanistan, from a broken border and rampant inflation. They're trying to pick a fight over COVID, but if they were really serious about fighting COVID in America, they would shut down this border. So I think it's just political theater, and I'm not for mandates.
You know, Senator, he actually said it's not about your freedom, it's not about choice. Well, what the hell is it about then, if it's not our freedom?
Well, this is Joe Biden at his best here. The bottom line is, it is about politics, I think, more than anything else. A couple of months ago, they said they didn't have the authority to do mandates. I think it's unconstitutional. But let's get back to the border. If you're really worried about COVID and fought it at every turn, wouldn't you have a different policy at the border? We're releasing thousands of people a day, literally, into our country who are not being tested and not being vaccinated. So, yes, the choice to take this vaccine is your choice, not the federal government's choice.
Yeah, Senator, you've been really fired up over the years about what's going on since 9/11. Let's bring that up the day before. This is 9/10. I got to go back to 20 years ago. On 9/10/01, we were one day away from America fundamentally changing for the rest of our eternity, thanks to some terrorists that did this to us. And now, some of the same people that masterminded 9/11/01 are going into power in Afghanistan, thanks to Joe Biden and his administration.
On this 20th anniversary, I'm heartbroken and I'm worried. What have we done here in the last 30 to 45 days? We've allowed the Taliban to take back over the country by force of arms. We've abandoned thousands of people who fought along our side. And every jihadist in the world is going to run to Afghanistan because the Taliban won the Super Bowl. Al-Qaeda is coming back. ISIS is already there. The chance of another 9/11 has grown greater in the last 60 days than it has in the last 20 years. So what did Biden do? He made it harder to get people to fight with us in the future, and he made winners out of the terrorists by driving us out. This is the single dumbest decision made by our American president since 9/11.
You know, I noticed that you had sat down for an interview with the BBC, and you said, we're likely going to have to go back in. I'd like you to weigh in on that, but also, well, go ahead. Start with that. Let's start. Why do you think we'll need to do that?
Well, it's just common sense. Unless Al-Qaeda has surrendered or given up their agenda, they're going to come after us. If you think Al-Qaeda is not going to come after us, you're mistaken. If you think the Taliban's reformed, you're stupid. The Taliban are as dangerous as they've ever been. Who did they put in charge of the government? The Interior Minister, the director of the FBI, is on our nation's most wanted list with a $10 million bounty on his hand. When we withdrew from Iraq, I said then that if we take all of our forces out, I think radical Islam will fill the vacuum. Well, what happened? ISIS took over northern Iraq and formed a caliphate in Raqqa, Syria. How did we dislodge them? We sent soldiers back on the ground, working with the Kurds and the Afghan military to destroy the caliphate. So here's what I believe is going to happen. I think the Taliban are not new and different. I think Al-Qaeda is going to have safe haven like they did 20 years ago. They're going to plot, scheme, and plan, and they're going to hit us because they want three things. They want a master religion for the world. They want to reform Islam in their own image. They want to destroy the state of Israel and convert every non-Muslim to Islam under their view of Islam, or kill us. Now, they're not going to stop until somebody makes them stop. The Taliban is not going to stop Al-Qaeda. If you think that's true, then you missed the last 20 years.
Or the last 20 days when the Taliban, the first thing they did when they took over Kabul,
the last 20 days,
open up the prisons and let Al-Qaeda and ISIS fighters out to go ahead and kill 13 Americans. You know, Senator, I hate Americans on foreign soil. You and I have talked about this quite a bit. But I've come to see the light that I think the biggest mistake we did make, not by leaving Afghanistan, I think we needed to get out of there, but by leaving Bagram in the hands of the Taliban. We could have held, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're the expert.
You're right.
By the way, thank you for your service. Thank you for our freedom. You're the expert. Had we kept Bagram, or if we, in fact, go back in to Afghanistan and take Bagram, just own that space and give us a presence in that part of the world, it might do wonders for our safety here on American soil.
I can't really say it any better. So what did we do after 9/11? We told Taliban to turn over Al-Qaeda and destroy the training camps. They refused, so Bush went in and we wiped them out. We've been working for 20 years to form a new government. It's been starts and stops and good and bad. But all I've ever advocated, and President Trump got this, is an insurance policy against another 9/11. We don't need 100,000 troops in Afghanistan. 3,000 or 4,000 Americans with drones and the CIA and the capability we have, the Afghans don't, would have kept the Taliban and Al-Qaeda at bay for the rest of our lives. So what did Joe Biden do? He canceled that insurance policy against sound military advice. The military advised President Biden to keep Bagram open and to have a counterterrorism force on the ground as an insurance policy against 9/11. Thousands, not tens of thousands. And now we see what happens when Joe Biden becomes General Biden. This is the same guy that believes we should deal with the Ayatollah in Iran as if he's a normal person. This is the same guy that got us out of Iraq, that led to the ISIS caliphate. Now he's allowed the Taliban to take over, and Al-Qaeda will be coming our way, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Yeah, so in this 7 minutes or so, Senator, we talked about Dr. Joe Biden and General Joe Biden, neither of which are accurately naming this guy. We got to let you go, Senator. We really appreciate your time. One final point. Let's just, if you can just keep it real tight for me. Do you think there's any coincidence that the Taliban is announcing and celebrating their brand new government tomorrow on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, the day that they knocked down and killed 3,000 Americans? That's their celebration. Their parade is going to happen tomorrow on that day. Final thought?
Yeah, they're doing two things. They're sticking it in our face, and they're telling the whole world of jihadists, we won, America lost, come help us. God help us as we go forward.
God help us, and God bless your service, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.